Welcome to this explainer. Look, today we're taking a massive amount of global testing data, and we're literally climbing the price ladder of wireless headphones to find the absolute true winners. We've combed through hours and hours of rigorous audio testing, going all the way from those extreme budget buys up to the ultra-premium flagships, all to just completely cut through the marketing noise. So let's just dive right in by asking the ultimate question. It's the thing on absolutely every buyer's mind before they drop hundreds of dollars on audio gear. Do you really need to spend $500 to get perfect audio? Or are there hidden gems lower down the ladder that can, trick your ears just as well? By the end of this explainer, you're going to know exactly where your hard-earned money is best spent, based entirely on your own specific daily habits. Now, before we start evaluating the flagship features, we've got to quickly touch on the tech that literally everyone claims to have, but honestly, very few actually master. I'm talking about active noise cancellation, or ANC. Right, so this isn't just about having thick ear pads that physically block sound. True ANC actually uses external microphones to actively listen to the environmental noise around you. Think airplane engines or, loud cafe chatter. Then it creates these inverted sound waves to completely cancel that noise out before it ever even reaches your eardrum. Definitely keep this in the back of your mind, because as we're going to see, the quality of this specific tech shifts drastically as we move up the price ladder. All right, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by decoding the headphone market, then jump into the best extreme budget headphones, hit the mid-range sweet spot, explore the premium flagship feature battles, and finally, reveal the ultimate headphone winners. Section 1. Decoding the headphone market. Let's look at specs versus performance and really build our foundation here. Okay, so the absolutely crucial point here is that a higher price tag or, a super fancy spec sheet just doesn't automatically mean you're getting high-quality audio. The market is incredibly saturated right now. It's wild. We're seeing budget brands throwing in buzzwords like hybrid ANC and 70-hour batteries, while at the same time, some $400 flagships are still out here utilizing heavy, uncomfortable materials or even outdated Bluetooth codecs, which, if you don't know, is essentially old software that does a terrible job of compressing your music. So our goal today is to look purely at the tested performance metrics. We're totally ignoring that shiny marketing text on the back of the box. Moving on to Section 2, Best Extreme Budget Headphones. We're officially beginning our buyer's journey by looking at options right around the $25 mark. All right, to save us all some time, we're immediately eliminating a few popular budget models due to some pretty fatal flaws. When testing this bottom tier, reviewers found that you have to be incredibly careful. Take the HP H200, for example. It features this bizarre, downright creepy voice prompt for its ANC. And ironically enough, its noise cancellation actually gives you a headache rather than, blocking the noise. Then you've got the GM Plus. Sure, it might look sleek with those little golden accents, but the sound quality, completely hollow. And the Bose Rockers 550, it suffers from incredibly distorted, ear-shattering bass, and the audio leakage is so massive that literally everyone in the room is going to hear exactly what you're listening to. Bottom line, just avoid these entirely. But hey, it's not all bad news. If you actually know where to look, a strict budget can buy you some incredible endurance. We're talking a massive 70-hour battery life. $25 really can get you some serious staying power. Looking at the standout budget winners, the Soundcore H30i and the Go Bolt are really managing to dominate the space without falling into those usual cheap traps. The Soundcore H30i is honestly an absolute standout here. It gives you a stable, compact folding design, remarkably punchy bass with no severe audio leakage, and yeah, that's staggering 70-hour battery life. Its only real drawback is a slight latency, which kind of makes it poor for intense gaming, but that's about it. The Go Bolt serves as a fantastic alternative if you're after a stylish, party-heavy sound profile, though I will say the fit can be a little clunky for some users. All right, Section 3, the mid-range sweet spot. This is exactly where we start finding some serious feature upgrades. Let's dive into a direct comparison between two heavy hitters in the mid-range tier. This really shows how different born ends target completely different users. First up, the Skullcandy Hesh ANC. This one caters strictly to bass lovers. It has a very tight, comfortable clamp and a heavily tuned low end, but unfortunately, it suffers from a super outdated 22-hour battery life. On the other hand, the Soundcore Space One is taking a completely different approach. It offers a massive 55-hour battery, intelligent adaptive ANC, and a highly balanced audiophile tuning. That means the focus is on high-fidelity, studio-accurate sound rather than just booming bass. It really proves that in the mid-range, you no longer have to settle for things just being loud. Reviewers absolutely universally praised the Soundcore Space 1. They really highlighted its incredible comfort and surprisingly strong adaptive noise cancellation for its price class. Get this, when testers took these out into heavy wind environments, the adaptive ANC actually managed to completely silence the roaring wind. They described it as creating a massive vacuum of silence. And look, this matters big time because just a few years ago, getting this level of environmental blocking, that was exclusively reserved for headphones costing triple the price. No question. Moving right along to Section 4, Premium Flagship Feature Battles. Welcome to the micrometric battleground among the $400+ heavyweights. When we get into the objective, scientific decibel testing, wow, the results are incredibly tight. I mean, when you're spending top dollar, you expect the world around you to just disappear. In a controlled test measuring low-frequency jet engine noise, Sony slightly edges out the competition here, blocking a solid 65 decibels. Bose comes in at a remarkably close second with 64 decibels, and Apple's AirPods Max 2 blocks 62 decibels. Now, keep in mind, at this premium level, all three of these systems are doing an absolutely phenomenal job. But if you're a frequent flyer looking to completely obliterate that low-end cabin drone, Sony and Bose are basically just trading the gold medal back and forth. Notice the stark contrast in priorities between these two industry titans. It's fascinating. Apple perfectly masters transparency. Reviewers consistently note that wearing the AirPods Max 2 with transparency mode turned on is quite literally indistinguishable from not wearing headphones at all. It's wild. They use heavy, premium aluminum materials, but the trade-off there is a pretty heavy weight on your head and a limited 20-hour battery. On the flip side, Sennheiser focuses purely on delivering a highly customizable sound. They opted for lightweight plastics to keep comfort high, and they packed in a 60-hour battery. Sennheiser even throws in a separate USB-C dongle for lossless audio, meaning your music isn't getting compressed over standard Bluetooth. You're getting pure CD quality sound. Expert audio engineers universally agree on this. The Sennheiser HDB 630 absolutely dominates the competition when it comes to pure sound reproduction. Seriously, if your primary goal is to just close your eyes, put on your favorite album, and hear details you've literally never noticed before, this is it. The combination of Sennheiser's brilliant default tuning and their incredibly advanced parametric EQ app, which, by the way, basically lets you surgically adjust the volume of specific instruments and frequencies, makes it the undisputed king of audio fidelity in the wireless space, for sure. Beyond just sound and silence, brands are starting to introduce some wildly unique perks to justify these premium price tags. JBL, for example, introduced a smart touchscreen case, the Smart TX. Get this, you can actually plug this case into an airplane's entertainment screen using an aux cord, and the case transmits the audio wirelessly straight to your headphones. It lets you control the whole shebang from a little screen right in your hand. Then there's Sonos. With their Ace headphones, they introduced this seamless audio swap feature. With just the press of a single button, you can instantly pull the audio from your living room's Sonos soundbar directly to your headphones. Perfect if you want to watch TV late at night without waking up the whole house. Now, a quick heads up. While JBL ranked first in pure physical comfort, its default sound profile was kind of weak. And as for the Sonos Ace, it unfortunately tended to amplify small, annoying ambient noises during transparency mode. All right, Section 5, the ultimate headphone winners. We've looked at dozens of models across every price point, and it's finally time to synthesize all this data and reveal the ultimate winners of the year. But hey, before we hand out the final flagship crowns, we've got to highlight a few honorable mentions that completely disrupted their specific categories this year. Coming in at under $100, the CMF Headphones Pro by Nothing offer an absolutely absurd 100-hour battery life, along with an incredibly sleek, transparent design. Over in the gaming space, the Fractal Designscape totally shocked reviewers. It offers a built-in parametric EQ that saves directly to the headset itself, meaning it sounds just as incredible for music as it does for gaming. A real game changer. And for all you audio purists out there who don't mind a wire, the Sennheiser HD 560S provides a beautiful open-back design. That means the air cups actually let air flow through, creating this wider, more natural in-the-room sound. Plus, it's got a tasteful low-end boost, all for right around $350. So here's the final verdict across the board. Bose officially takes the crown for Best ANC in travel. The Quiet Comfort Ultra Gen 2s combine elite noise blocking with an incredibly lightweight build that honestly just practically disappears on your head during long flights. Then, Sennheiser confidently wins for Best Sound Quality, largely by leveraging that lossless audio dongle and their totally unmatched parametric equalization. And finally, Sony claims the title of the absolute best all-rounder. The WH-100 XM6 blocked the most jet engine noise in tests, featured a fantastic indoor microphone, and get this, it folds up into a brilliantly compact magnetic case. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to help you reflect on your own priorities before you make your next major audio upgrade. We've clearly seen that no single headphone perfectly masters everything, right? The heavy metals of Apple limit its battery life. The extreme audio fidelity of Sennheiser sacrifices that top-tier transparency. And the absolute silence of Bose, well, it might require a few minor EQ tweaks. So between endless battery life, pure audiophile sound quality, and absolute pin-drop silence, what trade-off are you actually willing to make? Let that be the guide for your next purchase. Thanks so much for joining me, and keep exploring.